For thousands of years, Himalayan masters talked about this thing called vital energy, this essential force for life. And at pretty much the same time, a Nobel Prize-winning scientist, Otto Warburg, was looking into a microscope and realizing our cells desperately need one thing to thrive: oxygen. So you've got two totally different worlds arriving at the exact same truth. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, but let's just cut to the chase. I know what you're thinking. We hear about deep breathing all the time, but does it really work? Or is it just a placebo? What has science actually proven? Well, that's what we're going to unpack today. We're going to look at the hard evidence from inside your cells all the way up to your brain to see what's real.
And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The Himalayan masters called it vital energy. Otto Warburg, he just called it oxygen. They were both talking about the same fundamental fuel for life. One path was thousands of years of spiritual practice, the other was the sterile lab, but look where they ended up. The exact same conclusion. So let's shift gears from ancient wisdom to hard data. We're about to go on a little journey through the scientific proof, and we're going to start at the most microscopic level possible, inside your very own cells, to see how this simple act of breathing really does change your entire body.
First up, a really fascinating study out of India from 2021. Researchers took a group of patients with rheumatoid arthritis, which, as you may know, is a really painful autoimmune disease. They had one group just get the standard medical treatment, but the other group added daily deep breathing practices to that treatment. And after 8 weeks, they looked at their cells.
And what they found is just wow. The results weren't just about feeling better. This was something they could actually measure. The mitochondria, the tiny little powerhouses inside our cells, they were fundamentally healthier in the breathing group. They were stronger, there were more of them, and they got way better at producing energy. Their cells were literally being recharged from the inside out. Okay, so to get this next piece of evidence, we have to talk about telomeres. The best way to think about them is to imagine your DNA is a shoelace. The telomeres, they're those little plastic tips on the end that keep the whole thing from fraying and falling apart. Every time a cell divides, those little tips get shorter, and, well, shorter telomeres are directly linked to faster aging. So check this out. A 2022 study from the US suggests that breathing might literally slow down aging at the cellular level. After just 8 weeks of daily deep breathing, people in the study showed changes at the genetic level. Not only did their mitochondria improve, just like in the last study, but the practice actually protected their telomeres. That's right, it was helping to stop their DNA from fraying. That's not just a feeling, that's genetics. All right, so let's zoom out from our cells and go right up to the brain. And what's really incredible here is how fast this works. A 2022 study in Thailand took a bunch of regular, stressed-out people and sent them on a simple 2-day breathing and medication retreat. That's it, just a weekend. And in that tiny amount of time, they saw a huge jump in something called BDNF. So what on earth is BDNF? Well, some scientists basically call it Miracle-Gro for your brain. It's the protein that helps you build new neural connections when you learn something. It acts like a bodyguard for your brain cells, protecting them from damage. It's been shown to boost memory and even help fight depression. And it turns out one of the easiest ways to get more of it is just by breathing deeply. And the benefits just keep stacking up. A huge review of studies in 2022 looked at heart health, and the conclusion was clear. Breathing practices can be as effective as some medications for high blood pressure. I mean, just look at the chart. Practicing pranayama, which is the traditional name for these breathing exercises, brought high blood pressure down a lot. And this brings us right back full circle to that ancient wisdom. The Himalayan masters said, when vital energy is abundant, evil energy cannot invade. Science now says the same thing, just with different words. When your body is properly oxygenated, your immune system is stronger, inflammation goes down, and it's just a tougher environment for disease to get a foothold. Okay, we absolutely have to hit pause for a second. Because with all this amazing evidence, it's really easy for myths and, frankly, some dangerous ideas to pop up. So it is absolutely crucial that we separate the proven science from the misunderstandings. Let's be very clear here. Let me be crystal clear. Deep breathing does not cure cancer. It is a fantastic supplementary tool. Studies have shown it can absolutely help reduce the awful stress, anxiety, and fatigue for patients going through treatment. But it does not, and I'm going to say it again, it does not replace medical treatments like chemotherapy or radiation. And then there's this other one you've probably seen floating around the internet, the alkaline body myth. The idea is that you can change your body's pH with certain foods or breathing to fight off disease. This table lays out the hard facts. Your body keeps your blood pH in an incredibly tight range. If it moved even a tiny bit, you'd be in the emergency room. The British Medical Journal looked into this and found zero evidence to support the theory. It's a myth, plain and simple. All right, now that we've cleared the air on that, let's get to the fun part. How do you actually do this correctly so you can get all those benefits we've been talking about? I'm going to walk you through 2 really simple but really powerful exercises that you can start using today. This first one is really the foundation. In fact, why don't we just try one cycle together right now? Go ahead and sit up straight, but stay comfortable. Put one hand on your chest and the other on your lower belly, okay? Now just inhale slowly through your nose for about 4 seconds and feel that hand on your belly rise, like you're inflating a little balloon down there. Your chest should stay pretty still. Hold it for just a second, and now exhale slowly for 6, maybe 8 seconds, and feel your belly gently fall. That's it. That's one cycle. That's the core of it all. Now this next one, this is your secret weapon for quick stress relief. It's called 4-7-8 breathing. So you start by putting the tip of your tongue right behind your upper front teeth. Now let all the air out of your lungs with a big whoosh sound. Good. Now close your mouth and breathe in quietly through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now exhale it all out through your mouth, making that whoosh sound again for 8 full seconds. That long exhale is the magic trick here. It flips the switch on your body's relaxation response. Okay, before you go off and start practicing, we need to have a quick but really important chat about safety. The whole point of this is to feel better, not worse, so listening to your body is rule number 1. So here are the golden rules. Just simple, common sense stuff. Start slow, seriously. 5 minutes a day is a perfect start. And please, never force it. If you start to feel dizzy or lightheaded, that's your body telling you to stop. Just go back to breathing normally. And of course, it goes without saying, if you have any serious health conditions, especially with your heart, please talk to your doctor before you start. So after all this, the science, the myths, the practice, what's the big takeaway? What's the single most important thing to remember about the power of your own breath? Here's the bottom line. The real magic here isn't about being a miracle cure for a disease you already have. The true power of deep breathing is in prevention. Think of it as a foundational pillar of your health, standing right alongside good nutrition, regular exercise, and getting enough sleep. It's about building a strong, resilient body for the long haul. And what does it take to start building that incredibly powerful foundation for your health? Just this, 5 minutes. That's all it takes to start. You know, Warburg spent his entire life trying to understand ourselves. The Himalayan masters spent millennia developing practices for them. And all of that knowledge, all of that wisdom has led to this simple, profound action you can take for yourself right now. You have 37 trillion cells inside you, and they're waiting. Now, it's your turn. Just breathe.